Social media, if not being regulated, will bring a shame to Nigerian government.
Social media is a place where we ease our stress after the whole work of the day. Social media should not be regulated in any form.
If you go outside as a young Nigerian, the first thing they look at you is a Yahoo boy.
Hello to you, our distinguished audience from all across the world, and welcome to the Nigeria House of Commons. Today we dive into one of the most polarizing topics of conversation, the regulation of social media in Nigeria.
Without regulation, we have chaos. We have lawlessness.
The same social media, the same Twitter that we are talking about, or say Facebook and all, is what we use as Nigerians to beg for arms during 2020, during the COVID-19.
Why social media is good? It has done more harm than good to the society.
This is a debate that sits right at the center of our rights, responsibility, and the role of technology in shaping our society.
What we are saying here is about regulating those things that are bringing negativity to our society in social media.
So buckle up for a session where passion meets policy and where the future of our digital freedom lies in the balance. Stay with us.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity, and uphold our honor and glory, so help me God. Almighty God, ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and action, so that we may always walk in the path of justice, peace, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Amen.
Amen.
Honorable members, I have examined and approved the votes and proceedings from the last plenary. Moving to the next business of the day. The first business of the day is a motion, and the motion is standing in the name of Honorable John Bernard. The motion is regulation of social media. Honorable John Bernard is invited to kindly lead the debate on the motion.
Madam Speaker, my fellow colleagues, I am John Bernard Madoka, representing the good people of Ebonyi State. I'm here this morning to raise a motion, the regulation of social media in Nigeria. Before I begin, it's important that the House notes that the section 39 of the Nigerian Constitution, that's 1999 Constitution as amended, is unequivocal in its provision that every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart ideas and information without interference. We've noted this, and it's important also to note that freedom of speech in itself is not absolute. It is in that regard that we are moving this motion, we are raising this motion in the House, so that we state the extent at which this so-called freedom is exerted. Madam Speaker, it's important to note that the vices, the trend going on our social media platforms in Nigeria, most especially, Nigeria has been projected as, and how do I put it now? If you go outside as a young Nigerian, the first thing they look at you is a Yahoo boy. That's the first thing. And this thing has spanned from social media itself. So we are raising this motion, so to say, as a way of regulating the use of this media. Without regulation, we have chaos. We have lawlessness. Number one on the point I listed is regulatory compliance. So platforms are mandated to comply with all applicable Nigerian laws and regulations, as well as desist from acts capable of undermining or interfering with application and enforcement of law. Madam Speaker, we are trying to create a system where there will be regulation on what people post out there. And then secondly, prevention of nudity and sexual content. Then we have incorporation of large service platform, measures of information and disinformation, provision of complaint channels. Madam Speaker, it is important to also state here that this provision, this regulation, tends to create a system where people can have somewhere to report to, somewhere to complain if they feel aggrieved. As it were now, there are a lot of cases where we see people the nudity of some persons are being thrown out on the social media. A lot of rights of individuals are being infringed, and then we have people living. People just don't know how to go about this infringement that's happened to them. We know there are laws, but where to report to, how to go about it. Now, this regulation tend to address some of this issue, whereby we create a system where people can go and lay their grievances, and the law will take care of that. Then we have also disclosure of information pursuant to courts. Now, this I stated, I said, platforms are at expeditiously upon receiving a court order to disclose any information under their domain or offer assistance as any authorized government agency for the purpose of carrying out investigation, combating crimes, and prosecuting offense. Now, this pursuance of information pursuant to court orders is a provision we are trying to put out that it will help the courts expedite processes where the rights of persons are being infringed upon.
You have 30 seconds to round off.
So, Madam Speaker, in essence, what I'm trying to say is regulation is the management of complex systems according to set rules and trends. This aims at aligning private behavior with public interests. This UUP, and we stand for uniformity. And one of our cardinal points is to have, if there is no regulation, the essence of regulation, government regulation, is to have that uniformity. If we all go into social media without laws, without guidelines, without rules, without regulation, everybody is bound to post whatever thing they feel like posting. So the essence of this is to go in line with our mandate, which is uniformity. Create a system that everything that goes in there tends to portray the public good. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bernard. Any seconder to this motion? Honorable Victor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, honorable members, and amiable audience. I'm Honorable Victor Ogro Okechukwu, the Honorable representing the good people of Bayelsa State. I'm here to support the motion moved by my honorable colleague on the regulation of social media in Nigeria. The regulation of social media in Nigeria, Madam Speaker, is a non-negotiable requirement to curb the decadence in our society. The social media is a free community that accommodates all kinds of persons, educated, non-educated, even those who can barely differentiate their rights from their lefts. Before I move further, I listened to a clip of the Mr. President some times back complaining of how that he doesn't even check the social media handles again because they insult him and they've insulted the hell out of him. So for that reason, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as I'm talking now, does not even check his social media handles. Now, it doesn't end there. Social media has done, why social media is good, it has done more harm than good to the society. Our youths, the level of corruption in the society right today, it is too alarming. And if it's not being regulated, what we have seen will be nothing compared to what will happen to us. I've been privileged to stay in some part. I've actually lived in the east, west, north, south, Nigeria. So now, there's a part, I won't mention it, where I stayed until like a year back now. There, if you meet a young man of 15, 18, 20, 25, you meet them, oh, guy, how are you doing? What you do? I be G-boy, bluntly. Now, you will see a young child, because they have access to electronic devices. There are no all manner of things they are exposed to it. Social media, if not being regulated, it would bring about, it's already turbulent right now, but it will bring about a devastating effect, not only on the society, but on every Nigerian, because we're talking about Nigeria now particularly. In overseas, you can't, if you travel to a place like the United Kingdom and so on and so forth, once they know you are a Nigerian, as a matter of fact, there is this level of discrimination, and that discrimination is not coming from not sheer like they don't like Nigeria, they don't like the black. No, it's from the negative effects that we have imposed on them through the effect of social media. Many more people die through the effect of this misuse of it. Social media, if not being regulated, will bring a shame to Nigerian government. We are the honorable representing this country. And why this must be regulated? Regulation aims to protect public interest. Let's pay attention to this. It's very important. 2, it aims to ensure safety and quality. It aims to promote fairness and competition. It aims to establish standards. This is what we are talking about. That there should be coordinates that should be set aright. How the modus operandi has to be controlled. Because the level with which you are going right now, there is a dear need. So, Madam Speaker, my prayers as I draw the curtain here, I would love, and it will be the best thing to happen to Nigeria so far in the year 2024, if this motion can be implemented, that social media be regulated and that we are able to put the necessary guidelines to guide the national, just to protect our glory and even dignity. What we are projecting to the outside, to the world out there, is nothing to write home about.
Thank you.
Thank you
very
so
much, Honorable Victor. Any opposition to this motion? Honorable Oluchi.
Madam Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I am Opara Oluchi Rosanna, representing the light of this nation, Anambra State. Thank you, my honorable. Thank you. Honorable John Bernard quoted the part of the Constitution, Section 39, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and in the same breath said freedom of speech is not absolute. And that part of the Constitution guarantees right to freedom of expression. So I'm wondering what this motion is all about. Madam Speaker, just like every other thing, everything has their pros and their cons. Now, if we are saying that social media has a lot of cons, how about the pros? I think we should actually focus on the economic implication of this motion that we're moving. In June 2021, the former president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, put a ban on Twitter. And that ban lasted for about 3 months. According to Statista, Nigeria lost $26 million weekly during that period. Nigerian youths, we are always complaining about the unemployment rate in Nigeria. And then the only platform that allows Nigerians, content creators, and all the other people who sell their goods, market their goods are social media, and then we want to ban it, or so sorry. What was the word, Honorable Victor? Regulates. He used regulates. I think that is just a way to mollify the word ban to me. Madam Speaker, the social media is a tool for democratic accountability. In a society where press freedom has been constrained, the only part where Nigerians, both marginalized and people who cannot find their way to our traditional media, can actually have their voices heard, is the social media. And regulating that, I wonder what we are doing as honorables in this country, if we are trying to regulate them, trying to speak. This platform and this motion is not even addressing what the whole problem is. Like his prayer says, one of our major problem is digital illiteracy, right? Social media is a platform, like he said, where every other person, both literate and illiterate, whoever, can actually have access to. Why don't you invest in digital literacy? I think platforms like Twitter have something like that, where you have something called community notes. You should invest in things that will actually educate Nigeria to identify the information that are right, and counter them. Those are what we should be talking about. The same social media, the same Twitter that we are talking about, or say Facebook and all, is what we use as Nigerians to beg for arms during 2020, during the COVID-19. A Nigerian asked for aid. We use Twitter. During the election, I'm sure most of the honorable colleagues here use Facebook and all for that. But now you're on seats and you feel that you should be constrained. You are coming back again in the next 4 years for the election. I hope you are not going to actually tell them to bring it back so that after the election you can come back and have it regulated. Madam Speaker, during that Twitter ban, we received global backlash from the United Nations, from EU. I want us to also note that Nigeria is a democratic community, it's a democratic nation. We're not living in authoritarianism. This is not an authoritarian community or authoritarian nation. And if you have to pick something from authoritarian nation and implement it in a democratic setting, I hope you pick some other parts, such as corrupt members of the government being executed. You can't pick one and leave the other. What I would recommend in all of this is we should strengthen our cybersecurity without infringing on freedom of expression and freedom of speech. We invest in promoting digital literacy campaigns and also collaborate with social media companies to establish transparent, fair, and accountable content.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The light of the nation.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other opposition? Honorable Dominic.
Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, I also extend my greetings to the guests in the House. I'm Honorable Dominic Tamboa Elo, representing the group of Sokoto State, the state of Caliphate. I'm here to support, here to support my opposing side. Yeah, on the motion that wants to regulate the social media in Nigeria. Social media has become an integral part of our lives. We can't do without it. It allows us to connect with friends and family, share our thoughts and ideas. It also helps us to be informed about current events. It also changed the way we communicate with billions of active users worldwide. I can't imagine a world without the social media. However, because its popularity has grown rapidly worldwide, people like the UUP members are threatened and want it regulated, according to them, to prevent harm. But I stand bold to say that regulating the social media would rather cause more harm than preventing it. First, you know that when you do that, regulating social media, you are always threatening the right of freedom of speech. Now, social media provides platform for individuals to express their opinions and ideas freely. Regulating social media will limit this freedom. While some may argue that regulating social media will prevent harmful content from being shared, it is important to remember that censorship is a slippery slope. What may be considered harmful or offensive to some may not be to others. And regulating content would involve making subjective judgments that would lead to censorship and infringement of the rights of human beings. Don't forget, the regulating can also result in suppression of minority voices or unpopular opinions, as powerful entities may use it. Don't forget the EndSARS. Before EndSARS protests came up, there was this the youth were victimized, they were suppressed, they faced a lot of attacks from the police. Don't forget. It was as a result of social media that these same youths came together in mass around the nation in one voice. And what happens to EndSARS today? Tell me, that's the power of social media. You can't do it without it. What else again am I to say? Now, social media platforms are already subject to laws. There are laws already regulating them. For example, social media platforms must comply with laws related to privacy, intellectual property, and defamation. They must also adhere to guidelines set by regulating bodies, such as the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, and the Federal Communications Commission, FCC. These laws and regulations provide a framework for social media platforms to operate responsibly and ensure that users are protected.
Honorable Dominic, please round up in 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. That's it. Now, already we have laws that are regulating the social media. When you say you're bringing laws to regulate them, I don't understand which law again. That is lopsided. So please, before I sit down, I want to tell the opposing side, I mean those who are proposing this motion, that please to drop this motion. Because it's not, it cannot do you well yourself sitting down there. Sorry, I want to ask Mr. Victor, Victor, you said something about the president. Are you his PA? He goes to so many areas and he has PA. He has people that go to so many areas. He has aides. He has them a lot. So please, he cherishes this thing very well. They are only doing it for the whole selfish gain. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, other honorable colleagues. Thank you very much, Honorable Dominic. Any other honorable member in support of this motion? Honorable Cletus.
Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Cletus Ojuso Opo, a member representing the People Paradise. Madam Speaker, I'm from Cross River State. I will start by saying this. While I was in higher institution, one of my lecturers used to tell us in our class that before you approach your exams, before you approach a question that is asked in the exams, you need to understand the question before giving your answers. From what I'm hearing all of you saying, it's as if we don't understand what we are saying here. What we are saying here is about regulating the issues around social media, regulating those things that are bringing negativity to our society in social media. Now, I will start by telling you that what we are requesting us to do is to regulate this one. One, combating misinformation and fake news. We are all aware what happened in 2023 election. Why we were in our polling unit, some videos and pictures were moving around showing people how some polling units were having no document. But that was a lie. I'm coming. This is because people from opposition party wanted to instigate that to make sure that they threaten the right of others that were ready to go out to exercise their franchise. And it happens in my own polling unit. Now, while we are talking about combating misinformation, we are talking about reduction in fake news if regulated, so that we reduce fake news. So that we can reduce all these things in our societies. So we are also talking about promoting accurate information. My honorable colleague, my good friend, please, I'm up. Yes. So we are talking about promoting accurate information. Like now, if I want to post anything on social media, I should know what to post as an honorable member. If I'm talking about my right honorable here, I should know what to write about him. So what we are saying here is for us to bring that laws that monitor social media, that make sure that any information that Honorable Lichi posts that is not right, they can bring it down immediately. Do you understand? That is what we are saying. We are not restricting anybody from doing anything in social media, but we are trying to, project the positivity of the society and not always negative. Because, like my honorable member rightly said, if you go out of the shores of Nigeria, please, I will beg you to be, all of you in UDP, to be going on research what is happening outside with our people coming from here. They restrict you from so many things. Now, we are talking about enhancing national security. In enhancing national security in social media, what we are saying is preventing extremist content. That is what we are talking about here, and not to restrict anybody from using social media. We know that social media is useful. Now, we are also talking about control over online incitement and violence. We are all aware what happened in Sokoto State when a lady was stoned to death, that she responded to a post on social media and they tagged it, what did they tag it?
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. And they killed her, Deborah. I will not forget that. If we had these regulations, the post itself that made her to react wouldn't have gone to anywhere. If we have these regulations. And that is what we are saying. Wait, it's not enough. We are trying to, see that we do something that everybody will be aware of, not something that some people will just be aware of. And not just saying it, but implementing it to work. That is what we are saying.
Thank you, Honorable Cletus.
Yes.
Please stand up in 30 seconds.
Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity. The 30 seconds is enough. So, what we are saying is, if regulated, it brings positive impact to our economies. Are you aware? And this is boosting local content creation and monetization. How? By encouraging local entrepreneurs, by also supporting Nigerian digital startups, by also cultural and creative industry growth. This is no. There's something you need to understand, because here I don't want to go to what you said because you did not say anything. Now, Honorable Speaker, please. They are distracting me. That is why you see that my 30 seconds is not 30 seconds anymore. And we are also talking about attracting foreign investors in our country, because Honorable Speaker, when we project you that you are the best in social media, if you get out, wait, sorry, ma. No, I'm not patronizing. Sorry, if you project you as Honorable Speaker that you are the best to the world, do you understand? That is what the world will see, and that is what they will work with. When we go out, like me now, if I go out, there's a child, Honorable Cletus, your Honorable Speaker is the best, and I must accord you that respect. I will be given that opportunity to do anything because of you. That is what we are saying. And not that when they post Boma, that Boma always disturbing this house. They will not allow anybody to do anything.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. That is what we are saying. And don't listen to them. They are trying to misinterpret what we are saying. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Other honorable colleagues. Thank you, Honorable Cletus. You have. I would like you to know that you were not successful in your bid to patronize me before this honorable house. Never. All right. Any other honorable member in opposition to this motion? Yes, opposition. Honorable Leader.
Madam Speaker, my honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Lydia Amuchi Daniel, representing the ever-blessed and nature's gifted people of Taraba State. Madam Speaker, before I begin anything, I would like to say this out. Regulation can actually come in a way whereby you are allowed a specific time to make use of social media per day.
No, that's not what we are saying. No, allow to speak.
Allow me to speak. Allow me to speak. Yes. Yes. I'm sure that's a regulation. Yes.
Honorable colleagues.
When you talk about regulation, it means people should be regulated on how to use social media. And in this context, you are trying to let us know that at least everybody should be given a specific time or hours to use regulation.
No, we didn't mention that. You are clearly stated that
we are attacking your point, please.
Honorable Lydia, please, you have 2 minutes.
So I'm speaking against the motion raised by my honorable colleagues from the other party that social media should be regulated. I'm not in support of that. Social media should not be regulated because there are so many reasons why social media should not be regulated. Good. Here I say social media is used for marketing. Social media is used for marketing. Imagine you bring your books online and I don't have data because the said government is regulating my data usage. Like if government said if after using 100% of my data per day, I should not use another data for that day again, that means I will not be able to see whatever you post online. I should leave that to the government. Okay, like we said, we leave that to the government, but we here, we are representing the government. And yes, social media is a place where we ease our stress after the whole work of the day. Social media should not be regulated in any form at all. People should be allowed to do whatever they feel like doing on social media, do whatever they want to do. If you allowed your nude to be leaked on social media, it is your fault.
Why did you put your nude there?
In the first place. Before it to be leaked. So you should not tell social media should not regulate anything. Yes, social media makes communication effective. Social media is used for collaborating and networking. Social media is used for relationship. Social media is a place that connects people anytime, any day, anywhere. Some girl, she met her husband on social media. Yes, imagine if her social media was being regulated that particular day, she met her husband. How dare will she meet her husband online? And again, yesterday, if you remember, Honorable David was not able to make it down to our session because on his way down here, he was interrupted by the policemen on the road. Good. And I was trying to reach out to him. I ran out of data. And I decided to use Honorable Abraham hotspot because he has data at that point. And I was able to reach David. And we found out what happened to him. And I keep saying, if social media is being regulated, I don't think me reaching out to him would have been possible that yesterday.
Honorable Lydia, other honorable colleagues, any other honorable member in support of this motion? Honorable Sharon.
Madam Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I am Monsu Sharon, representing the ever elegant and exquisite people of Abia State. Madam Speaker, just like Honorable Cletus said, it is very obvious that they do not understand the motion that we are proposing. Honorable Lydia, first of all, is actually very disappointing. An honorable member like you went out of data. But then, I would still say that other people. But then again, we are not talking about the regulation of timing on social media. No, we are not talking about that. We are not also talking about the restrictions of people using social media. And we are not talking about the regulation of data usage. Honorable Lydia, we are not talking about regulation of data usage. There is a difference between regulating social media and data. So government should not start looking into you should use 100 MB for a whole day. That is not what we came here to discuss. Now, Madam Speaker, I will talk about what Honorable Oluchi talked about. She made us to understand on the 1st of June 2021 that His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari placed the ban on Twitter, which we all know and we agree. And she told us how much of millions we lost. But I think it is only fair to this House that she tells us why there was a ban in the first place. And tell us the details that went about causing the ban. No, they should, for every reaction, there was always an action. Do you get? But then to avoid controversies, I will not go there because that is not the subject I came here to propose. Now, the reason why we are proposing this regulation of social media, Madam Speaker, one, it is to prevent harmful content such as cyberbullying and hate speech, which can incite violence. We know most of the times that, especially when it comes to religious fights, what triggers it is the social media in the northern part of our country. and then people start to react because of that, and there is violence that is being instigated. Madam Speaker, we are also talking about prevention of spreading fake news and misinformation. There was a time on TikTok whereby, I don't know if you know the influencer and the dancer EndSARS, somebody posted an obituary. Yes. And announced that she was dead, and he had millions of followers and got paid on TikTok, and he came out back to apologize and tell us she was not dead. Even she too came out to confirm. But I think that, thank you, that is misinformation. Everybody started reposting and like, oh, this lady is dead and all that. That is fake news. If regulation is being put in place, that wouldn't have happened. And if that post is there and it is not real, it would have been brought down even before 24 hours. Yes. Madam Speaker, the reason why we are proposing this topic is also education on social media etiquette. What is our younger generation learning from the social media? What is the social media projecting to this younger generation, Madam Speaker? So if there is a regulation, it will provide opportunities to educate the younger population about the legal dimensions of online engagement. We are all aware of a secondary school child whose sexual activity was posted on social media. Why? Following what the adults did. And she didn't say anything wrong. Is that what we want to keep allowing in the country? Is that what we want other nations to see about our own country? No. And in conclusion, thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll be rounding up now. 30 seconds. Okay. In conclusion, the positive impact of this social media regulation is that, one, it will grant us stronger data privacy. Because of my time, I won't be explaining it. 2, it will prevent financial fraud and online fraud. 3, it will engage secure business practices. 4, there will be fines and penalties in place for those that are non-compliant. 3, there will be safer e-commerce ecosystem. Madam Speaker, the regulation of social media is to ensure that we have a responsible digital environment that will safeguard we, the citizens, and our rights, and most importantly, protect the nation's security. Thank you very much, Honorable Sharon. Any other honorable member? Other honorable colleagues? Any other honorable member in opposition of this motion? Okay. Right, Honorable Abdul Wahab.
Madam Speaker, the Speaker ordained by God and installed by men, my honorable colleagues,
another attempt to patronize.
Not really, Madam Speaker. My name is Honorable Abdul Wahab Muhammad Yusuf, representing the Kingdom of Great Intellect, Kogi State. I rise this morning in this hallowed chamber to oppose vehemently the motion on the regulation of social media. Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, social media is a very, very important tool for civic engagement and communication. And this honorable house will recall that as far back as 2015, there has been an attempt by the Nigerian government to regulate social media. First was through a bill titled a bill to prohibit frivolous petitions and other matters connected thereto. That bill was standing in the name of Senator Balane Allah. Another attempt was 4 years later in 2019, where a bill in the Senate on the protection from internet falsehood and manipulation. That bill was also standing in the name of Senator SMS, I called him, Senator Sani Mohammed Musa. Also, these two bills were strongly opposed, vehemently rejected, and publicly castigated by many Nigerians. And today, that bill did not see the light of the day. Unfortunately, we are here again to propose things that many Nigerians whom we represent will also reject. We are not here. We are not here for ourselves. We are here to represent Nigerians. And if in 2015 and in 2019, these bills faced vehement opposition by Nigerians, what makes us think that this motion will see the light of the day? Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch also at that time condemned this attempt to actually regulate social media as it is an affront to gag the freedom of expression as guaranteed under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, I heard my honorable colleagues talking about regulation. Unfortunately, there are several regulations in place on social media. We have the National Broadcasting Commission, the NBC, and the Nigerian Press Council, NPC, regulating both the broadcast and the print media. If my honorable colleagues are saying that there's no regulation, perhaps they might suggest that we should expand the scope of these two agencies to maybe propose a framework of regulation. But then there's enough regulation on ground, and too much of regulation will guard the freedom of speech in a democratic society like ours where the rule of law prevails. Too much regulation will not be good for the Nigerian society, because through social media we're able to call our leaders to account, we're able to engage with our constituent. Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, I don't think this motion is ripe to be moved before this hallowed chamber. I don't think that Nigeria is ready for any form of more regulation than we are having now. Let us have a free press where those who let our actions and our acts be the judges, and let us be guided by our conduct. I don't think it is wise to regulate social media, and I so move, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Right Honourable. At this point, I would invite Honourable Bernard to give final remarks on this motion.
Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm John Maduka Bernard. I still want to re-emphasize what my fellow colleagues have said and what I've said earlier. I've heard them bring up point because earlier on I wanted to establish some grounds on why this bill was brought in the first place. The issue of misinformation, I don't know if you've grasped the extent at which information that goes out without control, the effect of such information. Honorable Justin, you are from Olu, if I'm correct, also Olu, right? I don't know how often you've been to your place recently or since 2 years ago now, how often you visited home. Are you abreast with the things happening there? Those of us from the East, we know what we are facing in the East. And these are issues of social media. These are just of social media. We've had somebody sitting all the way from Finland, controlling things happening in Nigeria. And then we'll have Nigerians killed as a result of misinformation. We are not saying they should ban social media. That's not the point. Our point is to regulate. If there is no proper regulation, I heard my honorable member said there is enough regulation on this. But have you this so-called this thing you quoted na Allah, yes, exactly. You quoted na Allah's bill that he proposed to the House in Senate, and then you failed to also say what that bill aims to achieve, which people kicked against. Yes, they must have kicked against in 2015. We are not in 2015. This is 2024. And the things happening currently in Nigeria, we tell you that these things is ripe, this bill is ripe, this motion is ripe and should be carried. Madam Speaker, I end by saying the regulation of social media is not a gag on freedom of speech, but rather it's a control. Even in every sphere, especially let me use football as a sample. In football, there is regulation. That does not mean that people should not exercise themselves, but you will not go outside the boundary of that regulation of that game. So it is with social media. We are not saying don't post, but we are saying don't go outside what is speculated you should post, and know what will be injurious to another person. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bernard. Other honorable colleagues. Thank you very much, Honorable Bernard. At this point, I'd like to invite the fact checker to set the record straight based on the arguments from both parties.
The very delectable and amiable Madam Speaker, very distinguished members of this honorable house, our esteemed guests, I rise to state the facts as they were. Today, the first speaker, in the person of Honorable John Bernard, the mover of the motion, in his commentary made a claim. His claim was that the global perception of young Nigerians around the world is that of scammers. The verdict is correct. There is a high prevalence of fraud in Nigeria, and this has been highlighted with the country recording the highest average fraud rate in 2024. Nigerian authorities have also called on youths to combat corruption and internet fraud. The second speaker, in the person of Honorable Victor Okechukwu, in his commentary did not make any data-related claim that I was able to pen down. And the third speaker, in the person of Honorable Opara Rosemary, made a claim that in June 2021, former President Buhari placed a ban on Twitter. The verdict is correct. She went on to make another claim that Nigeria lost $26 million weekly in 2021 during the ban of Twitter by President Buhari. The verdict for this claim is incorrect. According to NetBlocks, Nigeria was estimated to have lost approximately $250,600 per hour. So this amounts to a figure of $42 million weekly if you do the estimation, because the ban lasted for 5,328 hours, and that's about 222 days. So when you do the costing per hour, you get 42 million as against 26 million that was claimed. Then we move on to Honorable Dominic Elo. In his commentary, he made no data-related claim that I was able to capture. And the fifth speaker, in the person of Honorable Cletus Ojuso-Opo, made a claim about misinformation from polling units in the last general election. And the verdict for this is no sources was provided, and therefore misleading. The sixth speaker, in the person of Honorable Lydia Daniel, did not make any data-related claim. And the seventh speaker, in the person of Honorable Nwosu Sharon, also in her commentary did not make any data-related claim. The eighth speaker, in the person of Right Honorable Abdul Wahab Mohammed Yusuf, made a claim that Amnesty International condemned attempts to regulate social media in Nigeria, and the verdict is correct. Thank you very much as I take my seat.
Thank you, fact checker. So at this point, I would invite Dr. Sanusi Ohiari, who is the former Executive Director of Rural Electrification Agency, to kindly share his opinion regarding the debates and the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable members, it's a privilege to be here to listen to, this very passionate and heated debate. And I must say, I have listened quietly, and I've learned one or two things. But I'm a bit surprised because I noticed the debate is across party lines. And maybe my advice would be, to the proponents, to try to have like a bipartisan, kind of network before proposing this kind of bill. You should try, to reach out to across party lines. Everything is not black or white. If you listen carefully, you notice that both sides have points. So my advice also would be, why not list out some of those areas? Maybe they would agree to some, they will not agree to some. Of course, we change, things change every day. So we can't say that because something did not happen in 2015 or 2019, it cannot happen now. Giving new experiences and evidences, of course, we can always propose changes. So list those areas out that you feel strongly about, and maybe they also feel same. It's been a very interesting debate, and then I look forward to seeing you guys out there actually doing this work in the nearest future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sanusi. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. I would, at this point, invite Dr. Khalifa Abbas, who is a public affairs analyst and the founder of AK Football Academy, to kindly share his opinion on the debates in a few minutes. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, thank you for having me. My honorables, I'm really enjoying the show. I think my colleague here, the doctor, have already said a lot based on our understanding of why we're here. But my issue is, before social media, we are Nigerian. We are Nigerians. And we should regulate every single thing that will benefit Nigeria as a nation. So if there are things you feel by regulating it will make Nigeria better, then we should do it. And if some part of the regulation might cause harm to us, to freedom of speech, then you should point it out. But among our countries, I think we are part of the countries that don't have too much regulations on social media. Those who have the social media platforms, they have their rules and regulation. But in every country that they actually participate in, those countries have their own rules and regulation also. If the social media is going to bring good benefits to the citizens or to the nation as a whole, then it's a good thing to do. But if they have anything that will be against our culture, our norms, then we should go against it. So if you come here, I think it's not about which party you are, it's about what is the good thing that will benefit Nigeria as a nation. And thank you so much, and I hope you're going to make a bigger decision and a better one for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khalifa. We have Mr. Fasasi Sodiq, who is the founder of the Fasasi Foundation, the Fasasi Youth Foundation, sorry. So, Mr. Fasasi, you're invited to give us your opinions regarding this motion in a few minutes. Thank you.
Madam Speaker and the honorables in the House, I'm more privileged to be here because I have learned how our honorables decide on our lives. You see, railway station is constructed for orderliness, because if a train decides to move out of railway station, there's going to be a lot of destruction. when we talk about the Gen Zs, we talk about the adults on social media. You will agree with me that there is a need for orderliness on social media. Today, we see a lot of things happen on social media. 2 females were killed in Abia State as a result of social media, supposedly for hookups. Our generations, most especially the younger generation, believes on instant gratification. And that instant gratification is motivated as a result of some get-rich-quick things that they see on social media. When somebody just opened TikTok, and in the next 1 year, the person buy Bentley, begin to, splash money on the internet. They believed that what they are seeing is actually real. And if they follow that particular trajectory, they could just become billionaires in 2 days. And that is why, but I also build on Doctor's proposition by saying, and also your proposition by saying, if you want the social media to be regulated, let's see what you want to actually regulate on social media. Because sometimes we sign some bills, we pass some laws that will actually have adverse effect on the common people because of lack of clarity. That clarity needs to be established so that we know what we are actually proposing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fasasi Sodiq. Without wasting much time, we have Ambassador Chika Rita Ezenwa, who is Miss Face of Humanity Nigeria for 2023-2024. Ms. Chika, you're invited to give us your opinion regarding the debates. Thank you.
Okay. Standing on the existing protocol, distinguished honorables, Madam Speaker, I'm so honored to be here. This topic about regulation of social media, I would say is so close to my heart because I've worked with the common people on the streets. I have an NGO called Neri Developmental Initiative. We work with common people, we interact, and I've been able to collaborate with the United Nations on human rights issues. I have seen young women, young men get it so wrong because of what they've seen on social media. I have interacted with people that has mental breakdown, depression, because of what they see on social media. How do we control that? They say the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. How do we lead when we are seeing what we shouldn't see on social media and we are acting accordingly? But forgetting that nobody lives their real life on social media. It's just, and when you talk about sensitization, how many people are we willing to sensitize? So sensitization is not going to be easy on social media, going to the street and talking to them, oh, don't do this, do that. But I feel like when we put laws in place that control what we put out there, it will help a lot because we are building young minds. I would say that kids below the age of 18 should not be on social media. If I have a child tomorrow, they are not going to be on social media till a starting age, till they are able to understand what goes on there. Because that's how we breed kids that are like in their 16, 15, they're already twerking on social media because they feel like that's what brings them money. They feel like that's the influence that they want to pass out to other people. So this first of all, we are Nigerians. So we will find a common ground, we'll find a balance at the end of the day. My honorables, we will find a common ground at the end of the day. But we should be mindful on what we do on social media. It's very important. We should be mindful. We should know how we use social media. We should know what we put out there just for the benefit of the young ones. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Chika. I like the fact that you pointed out the issues of mental health from people that have been using social media. That's a very important thing. Thank you for your contributions. Finally, we have Mr. Okeke Patrick, who is a member of the Frederick Herbert Stifong, Nigeria. You're invited to share your opinions in very few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, the House, and my fellow ladies and gentlemen. I've really enjoyed this session and this discussion. It's been very, very interactive and educative. Social media is a means. Just like every means, like means of transportation, means of communication, there's always a basic regulation. So for means of transportation, do you have money to enter? If you don't have money to enter, you cannot enter. For means for a means of communication, okay, are you of age? Can you see sensitive information? In fact, even if you join social media at a young age, whenever you want to see sensitive content, there's always this regulation that stops you. So there are regulations of social media. And just to point out 3 instances, I remember just this current election that happened in US. There were several regulations before the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, bought Twitter. There were several regulations that even affected our own country, Nigeria. The ban of our president from social media because he said some things. So my question would be to the people who support regulation. What do you want to regulate? How do you want to regulate it? Because people will definitely talk. So I feel the best thing would be to say, let us look out for ways to checkmate. Because just as someone who enters into a bus as a terrorist or comes into a bus and then maybe becomes naked, you cannot regulate the person entering, but you can checkmate whenever he does such instance or does such action. So let us look at those instances where we can checkmate, where someone is maybe spreading, some harmful contents and checkmate them. But to regulate how they come is very, very difficult thing to do. So that's my point so far. Thank you so much. Thank you
very much, Mr. Patrick. All the honorable colleagues, Honorable Abdul Karim, all the honorable colleagues, Honorable Cletus, all the honorable colleagues. Is there any other member of the audience who would like to share an opinion regarding this? Honorable members, I've listened to the arguments for and against this motion, and I must say that today's debate has been an interesting one. Social media has made life easier since its inception. It has made communication faster and effective, and it encourages networking and collaboration. And social media also contributes to our economy. Social media is an important tool for civic engagement. However, it is pertinent to state that social media has the tendency of occasioning misinformation and false information, which can lead to violence and unrest. The regulation of social media can protect citizens from hate speech and protect our children from harmful content. It can also prevent internet fraud and putting out of extreme or violent content. It is also important to add that regulation of social media can promote the image of our dear country, Nigeria. This motion is what my people call, permit me to say in Yoruba language, also sinile no buyosi, which means that somebody farts in your mouth and still had salt. So you can't swallow the fat and you can't spit out the salt, which means that you cannot completely say you want to ban social media, because we know the importance, and you cannot say that we should continue to allow social media to stay without regulation. So it's a very dicey one. So then I would say that in a democratic nation like Nigeria, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria promotes freedom of speech, and social media promotes democratic accountability. But it is also this same social media that has done a lot of damage to our image as a country. You see Nigerians posting things about Nigeria things that are not befitting, and it has affected the image of our country. So at this point, honorable colleagues, I would encourage you all to think deeply about the pros and the cons of this motion as you cast your vote. So, honorable members, the motion before us is whether or not social media should be regulated. Those in support of the motion should say aye. Aye. Those against the motion should say nay. Those in support of the motion should say aye. Aye. Those against the motion should say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, honorable colleagues. Majority Leader. Order. Honorable colleagues. Majority Leader is hereby invited to move a motion for adjournment of plenary to the next legislative date.
That is it. Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Cletus Odriso Opo. I represent the People Paradise. Madam Speaker, I'm from Cross River State. You can see that I'm bouncing, but I'm not a dancing honorable. I rise to move a motion for an adjournment as agreed by the House to a later date. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Cletus. The way you are smiling, I'm having a feeling that you think your patronage worked on me. It didn't work on me. All right, Minority Leader is invited to second the motion for adjournment of plenary.
Madam Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Opara Oluchi Rosanna, representing the light of this nation, Anambra State. I second the motion for adjournment of plenary to a later date as agreed by the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Oluchi. So, honorable members, the motion before us is whether or not this plenary should be adjourned to the next legislative date as agreed by the House. So, those in support of the motion should say aye. Aye. Those against the motion should say nay. Nay. Honorable Mary wants to sleep here. So, the ayes have it. Thank you, honorable colleagues. I rise.
Our debate today around regulating social media in Nigeria revealed the tension between protecting freedom of expression in our country and the issues around national peace and security of this great nation, Nigeria. Social media, as we all know, it has been a powerful tool for conversations, accountability, and where great relationships have been formed. But we also cannot take away the fact that social media has been a breeding ground for cyberbullying, has been a breeding ground for misinformation, and of course, social unrest. Supporters of this regulation, made up of members of UUP, have insisted that we must regulate social media to protect the national peace and stability of this great country, Nigeria. However, members of the opposing side, UDP, insisted that regulating social media would negatively impact the freedom of speech that we so judiciously preach and could also stifle dissenting voices in our society. Regardless of which side of the coin that you prefer, it is important that you understand that the conversations we are having here aims to shape our future, and of course we're looking forward to a better Nigeria. We say a very big thank you to our honorable members, to you, our exquisite audience, and of course to Africana League for creating this platform for discourse. Until next time, stay informed, stay responsible, and always remember, you too are a part of this story. My name remains Ifunanya Nduka, your host. Bye.